Hello, welcome again. It is I, Josh Knox. I am Josh Knox, and we're joining together again to do a PL300 exercise. This is called Create Advanced DAX Calculations in Power BI Desktop. So if you're following along, click on the link down below. We'll launch the lab together, prove we are humans, and then, oh look, first try, one rock, submit. Boom, try doing that. Wait, what? Try again. 4. Match the number of rocks with the number on the left. It's 4, right? I mean, am I not human? Match the number of rocks with the number on the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's just restart the whole thing. Find the one rock. Find 2 rocks. Find 2 more rocks. Boom! We're human for one more day. All right, let's start up the lab. I should have said, boom, we're human. Let's try again. We're human. Should look like I'm throwing the stuff. I get some in it, I bet, if I'm in the middle of go. How's everybody doing today? Respond in the comments. Or don't. That's fine too. If you're just an AI bot trolling this for LLM advancement, then say hi and be kind or whatever. All right, we got 1 minute left. Chugga 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 chugga. Almost there. Okay. Student password. So secure. Let's click up here. Hit the window to our machine. No, full screen. Okay, good deal. So as always, we'll go next. We're gonna open up Edge, our internet browser. We're gonna go to GitHub and download the assignment. Right, it's in a zip folder. That downloads it. Oh, didn't want. Yeah, go to the folder itself. Let's extract the zip. Right click, extract all. It is extracted, right? We have the solution for us to look at and compare to. We have the starter, so that's what we're going to start with, and then also the snippets file, which will be different DAX formulas that we can copy and paste. So we'll get that ready. Open up the starter. And then it looks like we're going to start by creating a matrix visual as we get started. All right. right, so we're on the report page. Everything's still kind of loading. Ready to make that. Oh, there's already some visuals, huh? In this task, you'll make a matrix visual to support. Oh, on page 3. Okay. So let's make a page 3. Let's make a matrix visual and make it fill the whole page. Nice and big. And then we want to, from the data pane, drag regions. The hierarchy in the rows. And the sales field to the values well sales. Boom. Okay. And then expand everything by clicking here to drill down, right? So this goes, what does it go from region, group, country, region, Germany, France, Germany, but you can, if we look here, we can click here to expand everything. So now, to format the visual in the visualizations pane, select the format pane. This guy here. In the search box, say layout. So that's a nice introduction to the search box. Layout and style presets. Layout, there's compact and there's tabular. Okay, oh, so that's nice. Verify that the header, that the matrix visual now has 4 column headers: group, country, region, sum. Yeah. Lovely. All right. You'll create several different measures in this exercise and then test them by adding them to the matrix visual. Sounds fun. All right. Manipulate filter content. In this task, you'll create several measures with DAX expressions that use the calculate function to manipulate filter context. The calculate function is a function used to manipulate the filter context. The first argument takes an expression or a measure just a named expression. Subsequent arguments allow modifying the filter context. Okay, so add a measure to the sales table based on the following expression. We have sales, and so we're going to say sales of all region, which removes the region filter. So sales, say a new measure. This is when our snippets tool comes in handy because the guy's already here. Right, so it's a sum of sales, but it removes the region filter. Now if we add sales across all regions here, we can see that sales all regions is the same regardless of what gets filtered. Notice that sales all regions measure computes the total of all region sales for each region, country, and group. The new measure is yet to deliver a useful result when the sales for a group, region, or country is divided by this value. It will produce a ratio and is presented the grand total. Okay. So in the data pane, ensure that sales all region measure is selected. Once selected, it will have a dark gray. And then in the formula bar, replace the measure name and formula with the following formula. Okay, so instead of sales all region, which is whatever, we're going to actually call it sales percent all region. Which is what the sum of sales. We are dividing the sum of the sales over the grand total. Okay. Now we've got sales percent all region. We certainly want to format this as a percentage instead of money. And maybe, sure, I guess that's a fine. No, get out of here. Yeah, so now we have percentages. Okay. Add another measure to the sales table based on the following expression. Format as a percentage. We've got sales percent of country. Okay. So like sales percent of region, sales percent of country is the sum of sales, removing sales percent country, measure definition. Divide the sum of sales, calculate the sum, remove the filter of region as opposed to region. Okay. So that was doing the filtering here. This would be doing the filtering. We want to do the filtering here. Okay, so sales, new measure, percent of country. Add that in. Format it as a percentage with 2 decimals. Notice that they are slightly different. The difference is that the denominator modifies the filter context by removing the filter from the region column of the region table, not all columns of the region table. The region column of the region table as opposed to everything in the region table. Oh, okay. It will achieve a result that represents the sales as a percentage of country. Add the sales percent country measure to our visual, which we did. Come on. What's that? Canada, the United States is what gets interesting. Yeah. As you may recall, only the United States has multiple regions. I had forgot, but that makes sense. To improve the readability of this measure, rewrite it like this. If it's in scope, divided. Okay, the if in scope function is to test what the region column is the level in the hierarchy. Okay. So we'll take this. How do we get? I get my measurer. All right, we'll just, here it came. So now we're adding that in scope logic. We'll see how that's different. See how basically it only calculates now if there's a region involved. So it's not doing it on the totals. It just makes it more legible. That's kind of nice. Okay. Now we've got another measure of the sales table based on the following expression as a percentage. Okay, sales percent group. Okay, let's get sales percent group. Grab sales percent group. Right click, new measure. Sales percent group. Let's see what happens. So this is removing the filter at the region and country level. So it's only, okay. We'll just add this in. Oh, got to make sure we format it as a percentage. That's important. It now only returns sales percent group. Oh, and this is the same thing where we see it. It's everywhere, but it would probably be more legible if it only showed at the where there was an effective group. So we have the rewriting of sales percent group that includes the in scope. Come on, let's want to edit you. Not sure why the little visual area isn't popping down. Well, more than one way to skin a cat. Delete it from the model. Make a new measure. Percent of sales group with the in scope. Make it percent. And you can see, right? So it totals for the where there's a group involved. Interesting. It doesn't total at the grand total and doesn't total for the country total. Whereas the other one totaled for, I guess, as whenever there was a region. So, interesting. What's next? In the model view, let's put them in a display folder called ratios. So ratios, Twitter humor. Okay. Model view. We'll shift and select all three. Make a display folder called ratios. Lovely. And save the file. Okay. The measures added to the sales table have modified filter context to achieve hierarchical navigation. Notice the pattern to achieve the calculation of a subtotal requires removing some columns from the filter context. Yeah, that makes sense. And to arrive at a grand total, all columns must be removed. Dig it. All right, so this is the grand total. Has no filter context, but then yeah, you can create, okay, create a year-to-date measure. Here we go. We're halfway through, I think. Create a year-to-date measure. In this task, you'll create a sales year-to-date measure by using time intelligence function. All right, so let's go to the report view on page 2. Hey, this looks familiar. We did this in our last session, those of you that were with us. But I really like order lines to have a thousands separator. I feel like this is just a pet peeve of mine. Okay. See, isn't that so nice? Is that so hard? That should be standard. I'm going to talk to somebody about that. Okay, let's add a measure to the sales table based on the following expression and formatted to 0 decimal places. On the sales table, new measure, got sales year to date. Here's our year to date measure. Add the sales field and sales year to date measure to the visual. Sales and sales year to date. Oops, lost it, huh? Sales. Call it sales. Hit tab to get out of there. Move that up. All right, sales and sales year to date. And so we should see some differences, but let's see what's happening. Okay, these are the same, and then this keeps growing, right? Because this is doing year-to-date sales. It's all up to 16 million, which is the total. And this just reports the amount within the given month. Nifty. All right, notice the accumulation of sales value within the year. Yep, that's what we see. Okay, the total year-to-date function performs filter manipulation, specifically time filter manipulation. For example, to compute year-to-date sales for September 2017, the third month of the fiscal year, all filters on the date table are removed and replaced with a new filter of dates commencing the beginning of the year and extending through the end. Okay, many time intelligence functions are available in DAX to support common time filter manipulations. It's good to know. So a year-over-year growth measure. In this task, I create a sales year-over-year growth measure by using a variable. Excellent. Variables help you simplify the formula and are more efficient in using logic multiple times within a formula. Variables are declared with a unique name, and the measure must then be output after the return keyword. Unlike some other coding language variables, DAX variables can only be used within a single formula. Okay. So we'll take out another measure for sales year-over-year growth. So there's a variable, sales prior year equals this whole thing, and then we want to return sales prior year. Okay. So we're in the sales table. Let's create a new measure. That's what our measure looks like. Sales prior year variable is assigned to an expression that calculates the sum of the sales column in a modified context that uses the parallel period function, shifting 12 months back from each date in a filter context. Okay, so add the sales year-over-year growth measure to the matrix visual. Add the sales year-over-year growth measure to the matrix visual. All right, we've got sales year-over-year growth. year-over-year growth measure. All right, and expand this a little bit. So that's nice. So we don't have anything, just doesn't calculate for the first year because there's no prior year to compare it to. So that's nice. You don't get something wonky. And then you can see that basically it's just saying, here's the July 2017 number in July of 2018. In August 2018, this is the August 2017 number, right? So it's basically taken these rows and shifted them down to here. Cool. To complete the measure, now we're going to overwrite this, formatting it as a percentage with 2 decimal places. So now we the actual formula we're going to use takes that sales prior year and then divides our sum of sales with the sales prior year and gives us a percentage. Okay. So said differently, what our formula really does is in this row, I want to know this number minus this number. So what's the difference divided by, presumably divided by what was the original number here, so we can see the percentage of growth. So we'll do sales year-over-year growth, Control A, Control V, right? So we divide sum of sales minus the prior year divided by the prior year. Okay. I'm going to format this as a percentage. Yeah. So that looks good. So, right, if our first month was 500,000, call it, and now we're at almost 2.5 million, right? It's almost 5 times, or I guess 4 times what happened, which is almost 400% growth. Yeah, I guess it's 5 times the value, but you're only counting the difference in growth. So it's like no growth would be 0%. If it was the same value, it'd be 0. And then if it doubled, it'd be 100. If it tripled, it'd be 200. And we're at 400. Okay, nifty. So in the model view, place these 2 measures, sales year to date and sales year, in the time intelligence display folder. Great. So let's get in here. Got these 2 guys, display folder, and we'll call it time intelligence. Boop. All right. Well done. That was a short one. Thank you, everyone, for being with me. Let me know in the comments or email me. Go to iamjoshknox.com, and if I can be of any help to you, please let me know. I'll see ya.